get into the chat before I start talking about my experience. So if you'll just be patient for a little bit, and I'll get started, okay? I don't know if I have any people returning. It looks like a lot of new people today. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. Okay, so I think we've got 30 people now. So my name is Erica. About 10 years ago, I was placed on hospice with a rare neurovascular disease. I was expected to pass away within 6 months to a year. And at the end of that year, when I didn't pass away, I decided that I was going to try these new, really expensive experimental treatments because I still had younger children. And so those treatments made me healthy enough to carry and deliver a child. At the time of her birth, I had a C-section and something went terribly wrong. A couple hours after that, I was in the room and I lost all the blood in my body along with my life. I lost my life for 1 minute and 45 seconds. So I already felt like I was living like I was dying on hospice, but then this experience where I actually passed away changed my entire life. My entire belief system was shaken. Everything that I thought was true no longer held true, because in that minute and 45 seconds, I was given downloads of information, like eons of lifetimes that I had lived and experienced. And most people get these downloads at the end of their life to slowly relearn in your next life. However, I was given a rare opportunity to keep my downloads because of things that are going on in the world right now. And I promised that I would spread my story and use it for good and not create fear or division, and try to kind of help people understand that there's more. There's more to living. There's more to life than we can even understand. Science will catch up with this one day and explain this, but in the meantime, I'm here and I'm ready to tell my story, every bit of it, all the ugly parts. But first, before I start taking questions, I want to preface this by saying everyone who is alive will experience death, okay? We all have experienced it probably multiple times. We don't remember it. It's a beautiful, unique, passionate experience that is indescribable, okay? But I don't want to focus so much on the experience rather than the information that I was given, okay? Because I feel like it's a rare opportunity, and it's a gift that I was given to share with the world, not the story of my death, but the story of living and life and all the information that we have been kept from. So thank you for joining me. That's my spiel. So I'll go ahead and open up for questions. Before we start, I want to tell you, like, I've tried for 3 years to make videos of the things that I think are important, and I try to be very clear, and I speak with intention now. So I'm careful what I say, but I also want these messages to be delivered. So what I suggest is, if you have specific questions after you've researched some of my videos, then message me. I'll be glad to answer. I am an open book. Some of the things I was given, the information I was given, I was told to deliver that carefully. So anyway, let's start talking about that, okay? So I'm ready whenever you want to start, and I'll try to keep... Okay, so somebody's already saying you were on hospice and got pregnant. Okay, so I was placed on hospice, my neurovascular condition is called Shy-Drager syndrome or multisystem atrophy. This was 10 years ago, okay? So whenever I was on hospice, I was expected to pass within 6 months to a year. At the end of that year, I pulled myself off of hospice and I decided to give it everything I had. Just, try some new treatments, just give it all I had because I still had children and I felt like I had a lot to live for. So after taking these experimental treatments, I was healthy enough to carry and deliver a child at the age of 38, mind you. This was a complete shock to everyone around me and myself. It's not something that we were prepared for or thought would ever happen. So it was actually after hospice. My daughter is almost 3 now. She is 3 now. Okay, I call cap on this live. That's fine. Not everyone is ready to listen, and that's fine. I know, whenever I began to tell my story, I knew that some people wouldn't believe that. And look, my illness is sometimes what they call an invisible illness. But I have scars and marks to prove it. I don't know if you can see, like I've got a port. I still go for treatments. And not everyone's ready to hear the message, and I understand that. So if it's not for you, just keep scrolling. It's fine. I'm no longer at a point in my life where I need validation from anyone. I want to be helpful to the world and share my story. So that's what I'm doing. That's, after almost dying a couple of times in life, you realize that you're left on earth for a specific purpose and reason. So you try to take care of business for sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, nothing makes me an expert. I'm not saying that. I don't claim to have any more knowledge than anyone. I have a life experience that I want to share with people, that I promised I would share with people. We were all born with gifts and talents, and we were also all born with the ability to help other people and to be of service. And through our lifetime, through social constructs and systems set up, we have forgotten how to connect with our ancestors' nature. So that's what I'm here for. I'm just trying to spread a message. I'm not trying to be an expert on anything. NDE is near loss of life, but I actually did lose my life for 1 minute and 45 seconds. So I guess it would really rather be a death experience for me. So I'll try to make sure I get all the questions, y'all. Just be patient. This is like my 5th live, and I'm trying. How did your NDE lead to a 13-month calendar system? So this is interesting. What I was shown is that a lot of astrology, at one point, many ancients had figured out the system and the stars, and that was not a Gregorian calendar. That was a Mayan calendar. So I'm sorry your coworker died this week. Losing someone physically is a hard thing. And I want to encourage you by saying this. Energy, we're more than our physical bodies. Energies can't be destroyed. They can't be created or destroyed. So we continue on. And, I was skeptical. When I passed away, I had a very structured belief system that was put into place. I was taught what to believe. Not how to think or how to question things. I was taught what to believe. And when this happened to me, it shook me. Like I didn't understand anything I had seen. So if you just realize that you can still connect with the people, even though they're not actual physical beings anymore. But you can still talk to your coworker, and that coworker is probably able to still hear you. I did come back with some abilities okay, so let me say this. I do not want anyone to think that I'm any different or I'm special. My experience is unique to myself, but what I was shown is that we all have these gifts and these abilities that over time we lose. Okay, so because of all the systems set up to make us forget these things, or our parents telling us like, oh, you just have an overactive imagination or something like that, then you tend to like question yourself. So what one of the main messages is not, the goal here is not actually to learn your purpose. It's to actually unlearn everything that no longer serves you, so you can truly be who you are meant to be and add to this existence. Okay, so let's see. Mary Lou Ritchie says, my Bible doesn't talk about reincarnation. I understand this. Listen, I'm going to be really respectful when I say this, because I grew up in a very rural, conservative Christian area. And I was taught that the Bible was the book to live by. And when I passed away, my whole belief system was shattered, and everything that I had been taught to believe was no longer true. So all religious texts have a common point of origin, and they are meant to tell our creation stories and foretell of prophecies, so we don't continue to destroy the human race over and over and over again. But these stories have been misconstrued and mistranslated by man for financial gain. And the ascended masters, Jesus, Mohammed, Buddha, all those ascended masters are really angry because they had given their whole lives for these missions and their stories to be told. And they don't like their teachings being profited from, because they're not even... Listen, when I passed, I asked to see Jesus, and Jesus told me I could not read or write my story. I had to rely on my friend Saul. And Saul was a businessman, and he sold my story and my teachings. Jesus wanted everyone to know that you could connect with Source, and you were a powerful creator within yourself. Jesus was trying to teach people on earth this, and he was fed up with people taking his money to connect to a source that he could connect to himself. So his teachings are very important, but at the same time, he is angered and hurt that his message is being used for profit and not for good. Yeah, so a lot of people are talking about human design in the galactic calendar, so... Thank you for relating. I know that this message is important right now, and I know that I was given the opportunity to come back to use everything that's happened in my life, and every obstacle I faced and every challenge I've overcome. I have been put in those exact situations so I can identify and I can help and and let people know that they're not alone and that we all experience things, hardships, for the greater good of humanity. The abilities that I came back with are, I was shown so many things. I was given certain codes, and I was given tons of knowledge that is just overwhelming and hard to articulate. And I know that I have a gift of healing. I have a gift of intuition. But please know that we all have gifts. I can connect to my ancestors. I can connect to our Creator. I can connect with trees. Because you see, we're all connected. Everything on this earth in this time and space is connected. So that's why it's so important right now. My heart is so heavy today, and it has been because I have family that, that live in a little mountain town. They don't have anything at all, much to speak of anyway. They've struggled their whole lives to get what they do have. And they never really thought that they should prepare for a hurricane, right? Because they live up in the mountains. And my heart feels heavy for them. But also, I saw those events. I saw that it was coming. I felt that. And I told them, but you can only, some people can choose to hear with open eyes and open heart, but some people just question. And it's not their fault. It's nothing that they brought upon themselves because they didn't. I don't think that at all. But it just pains me that I saw what was coming and couldn't be more influential in their decision to stay or leave. Okay, guys, bear with me. Hey, Miss Rose, thank you. Okay, can you tell us what else you think is coming and where? Okay. So, like I said, I was entrusted with this information because I know that the first thing humans do is go to fear. We're hardwired, our brains are hardwired to fear. Because at one point that kept us alive. It no longer serves us. It's keeping us from evolving as a species. But I will say this, things are going to get worse before they get better. And what I have been led to say is this, and I've said this to many people over the course of a few months. As leaves fall to the ground, prepare for winter and know beautiful new beginnings await you. So I know that sounds cryptic or vague, but that's all I can say because I do not want to cause fear and chaos. Think about farmers and how they prepare for winter, or squirrels or bears. How do you prepare for winter? And know that love, okay, and I will tell you this, make friends with neighbors, because I just wrote a poem last night with this in mind. Leaders will falter and promises wane, but together the people are going to be what lights the way. Make friends with your neighbors. Love everyone in your community. Know them. Get to know those people again, because no matter what happens, the people around you are the way forward. We're going to go back to community living, communal living, and kind of like tribal. If you think about tribes, that is the natural way that humans are supposed to live. Okay, you say Jesus is angry. Would you say Jesus' main message is to love God and Father and love our people? Okay, so Jesus's message was don't pay people to connect because you have these abilities. You can heal people. You are a creator. You are made in his image. It is up to you. You have the hands, you have the knowledge, you have the power. You cannot keep giving that away to a church, to a leader, to anything like that. He wants us to know that we are the creators. We are made in God's image. I'm not saying that we are God. I'm saying that Jesus wants us to help each other, love one another, and get back to knowing what divine gifts that we have. How do we know we are in our last carnation? Okay, so life paths 9 through 11 get to choose. And I had never known anything about life paths until my passing. I'm a life path 9, and this will be my last incarnation, or I can choose to be part of a team. I've cleared all my karmic debt. And I say karmic debt because it's the only word I have to describe what I was shown, okay? For a whole entire year after my passing, I did this deep dive into all religious texts and all philosophies, and I just wanted to understand the best that I could what I was just shown and all the information I was given. So figure out your life path, and that's pretty accurate. I know that it's based upon a Gregorian calendar, but it's close enough where you can figure out where you are in that life path. Miss Rose, thank you for being here. So when you crossed over, what were you being told? What did they say? Can you channel? Yes. So I was given a lot of information, and it wasn't something I heard audibly. It was something, like I explained, like 25 computers being up and running and having all the possible windows open on them. And that was just put right into my brain. And I've tried very careful not to channel because I don't want that to interfere with my message. I don't listen to channelers because I want my message to be pure and thoughtful. And so I try to speak with my own words and my own intentions. That way I'm not interfered. Because when you have all this outside chatter, you know, it's easy to kind of get lost in that, right? So I've been really careful not to channel other beings. I am part of a council of 9, and I do meet on that council. But other than that, I do not channel outside of that. But I'm a sitting member, so it's not really like, you know, channeling. I'm actually there with the council. Okay, karmic debt is not what most people believe. Yeah, I know, and that's a tricky word because it's not one I like to use, but it's the only thing close to what I have to explain it. And so you clear karmic debt by doing good deeds, being kind, and also showing yourself the same compassion that you show others. That's an important thing. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you clear karmic debt by being kind to yourself. Yes. How does one find out what level you are? Are you talking about what life path? So, you can actually just, I think you can probably Google that, but it goes by birthdays. So if you put in your date of birth, I think it's all you have to give in your email, then I'm pretty sure that you can get it that way. I was shown mine, but I'm pretty sure that other people maybe in the chat can tell us about that. My life path is 7, seeking. Can you explain what that means? Okay. So whether we know it or not, we all signed up to be on earth. And we go through different levels in different lifetimes. So if you are seeking, then that means that you're in the process of growing and learning, right? So what this truly means is seek out yourself, is what I can say. Seek out your true self. And in a life path 7, you may have some things that kind of go against that, like it's hard to be your true self. It's one of the hardest things that I've ever done. Listen, whenever I have this fire in my heart and this message in my mouth, it was very difficult. And I've lost a lot of what I thought were friends and family. But I know now that even though some people don't understand my message, like my teenage daughter, I didn't really know how TikTok worked, and I thought that maybe I could post something, and it wouldn't be so easy to find, but immediately, as soon as I posted, her friends got a hold of it and thought, your mom's going through a midlife crisis or something. But what happens is my daughter has come to me and she says, Mom, I don't understand the message yet. I know I will one day, and I know what you're doing is important. So I'm proud of you. And for a teenage daughter to say that to her mother, I knew that I had truly stepped into my authentic self. And that's one of the hardest things to do, is to offer yourself the same amount of love that you continuously give to others. A lot of times fear and shame get in our way of that, guilt. So seek out yourself, love yourself. Okay, the people in your life that you feel have wronged you are your greatest teachers. This is absolutely 100% true. And at the time of my passing, I was shown, it happened so fast. Like 1 minute and 45 seconds is not that long, but time was not linear. It happened so fast and so much information was given to me. And at the time of your passing, you will see your entire life, and you will also see any pain that you cause someone else, and you'll feel that pain, even if it's a heartbreak or anything like that. So yes, everything that we go through in this lifetime is for the greater good of humanity. It adds to the records, to the knowledge of being a human, and it's really there for all of humanity. So when you can move to a point where you realize that things happen for you and not to you, that is one of the most empowering situations that you can step into also. Is this one recorded? I don't have like my whole story recorded, but someone asked me to do that, and I think I'm feeling like I probably need to do that. Okay, I'm trying to get to all the questions. Let's see. Miss Rose, thank you. How do we know when we are done? I want to be done and not do this anymore. Okay. So we all have that choice. It's difficult right now, but I want you to understand that there's a big split happening right now, a huge transition on Earth, and it's fixing to be, look, it's going to be tough for a while, but you're going to want to be here for everything that comes up. And, you know, you have, look, I don't want to be whatever the kids call it, like toxic positive or whatever they say, but I realize every day when I get up and I have to fight for my life that it's a gift, and it's tough, and I don't want to go for treatments. I want to be done with that. I don't, I'm in the process of healing myself and trying different things, but and at one point humans did have the ability to heal ourselves, but now that's no longer available to us because we've been interfered with. You can be done anytime you want, but I'm going to tell you that Earth is fixing to be an exciting place after the first of the year. You just have to bear through it, and it's going to be a beautiful, loving place like you can't even imagine. So just hang tight, okay? Hang tight. We love you. Okay, let's see. Hey, Tammy, I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. Okay, is there a hell? This is a common question I've gotten almost every live. Like I said, when you pass away, you see your entire life, and you see all the harm you've caused, and you see all the good you've done. And I know because I asked, there was a person that I loved that was hurt very deeply by a family member, and I wanted to see what happened to that man because I believed in heaven and hell, and I wanted to see him burning in hell. And what I was shown is I was taken to a lower dimension that's cold, dark, damp, and dirty, and I was shown that he went before a jury, a court, kind of like we have on Earth. And he was sentenced to 200 years before he could reincarnate. So it's kind of like the Catholics have purgatory. That was sort of what I was shown about hell. It is what some people would call hell, but it's actually a lower dimension. And they're just like there are higher dimensions, higher levels of dimensions, all the way up to 15. There are also lower dimensions, and I don't know how low they go, but he was on like the maybe, I don't know, the 5th. We went down quite a bit, and I was shown that he had his, he paid for what he did on Earth. Okay, we can unlock our gifts by, there are many ways, and I don't want to be one to tell you, because everybody has different gifts, everybody has a different way to access that. The way that I get in touch with my personal gifts is I listen, and this comes in a form of like full body chills, like an intuition that I know that I'm supposed to be paying attention, or ringing in my ears whenever spirit is trying to connect with spirit, or energy is trying to connect with me, or ringing in this ear whenever I need to pay attention because there's a negative energy around. I would say that oftentimes whenever I sit quietly and still, I am able to fully understand my gifts And I love to sit by my favorite little tree in the backyard. She's a pecan tree with a little elderberry tucked in her root system there. And I sit with her. She is one of my elders of this earth. The trees are living beings just like me and you. They communicate underground, but if we're open to it, we can even communicate with the trees. But the thing that happens oftentimes, and listen, our ancestors, the people before us on these lands, are desperate right now to be heard and to be talked to and understood. I would say just get quiet and still, and any kind of self-doubt or questions that pop up into your mind, just throw those out and know that it's not serving your highest self anymore to doubt yourself. We're taught to do that, right? We're taught over and over again as children not to trust ourselves, aren't we? Like, in some ways we're taught that we need something else. We need a higher power, or we just have overactive imaginations. So just listen to yourself, because you already have all the answers that you need within yourself. Yes, the devil is fear. That's a good analogy. I don't like when people bring the devil up, or Lucifer, or even fallen angels, because they're so misunderstood. But fear is the very thing that has kept human beings from evolving. Fear creates so many other things, but it all comes from fear. Fear creates division and hate and inequality. And so, yes, you're right about that. I think fear is the only bad word in my house, if you want to know the truth. Every time I'm sitting outside, I still see the trees waving to me. Trees want to be connected with. They're beings just like we are. And I know that that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their minds around, but I want to tell a beautiful story that just happened a few weeks ago. You have got to be, my dad used to say, have an open mind or a closed mouth. And I never really understood what that meant, but it has rang true over and over again, because I'm telling you, the more I open my mind, the more I realize we are very ego-driven as humans, and we think that we're of any kind of importance. But yet we're living in this multi-layered system that is just so biodiverse, but yet we're all so connected. So let me tell you a quick story about my trees. Since my passing, I have really paid attention to my trees, and I asked them to build a hedge of protection around my property, and that I would, we would have a beneficial relationship for each other. And I would protect them and love them if they would help me. Well, the next door neighbors, and even a few streets up, we live in a small town. It's not like an overwhelming crime rate or anything, but some kids were going around stealing change and sunglasses and stuff out of cars. Well, this hit even my next door neighbor, and my car was unlocked that night, and my trees, I am convinced, protected my property. But they had created an energetic shield around our property and protected them, and I'm so grateful for that. It's not like I had much to lose, but I just know how fascinating the world actually is. Yeah, fear keeps us at a lower level. Okay, let's see, Tammy. Are tarot readers psychic, spiritually gifted? Or how do you feel about these people? Okay, so I have to be careful not to let my religious upbringing get in my way of this answer. I think that sometimes they can be helpful, but I don't like the fact, like, I've delivered several messages to people because it was something that I felt I needed to do from an ancestor or someone who had passed. I didn't expect anything from that. I didn't want any money from that. So I feel like that these can be helpful, but they can also be really harmful when you put too much stock into that. It's really important to go within yourself because you and you alone have access to the knowledge of your life and your ancestors. And I just think more than anything, you have to be careful about paying people for a gift that maybe we all can share. If I think I answered that. How can I convince my cousin not to cut down the great old walnut tree? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure how you do this because not everyone places value on trees, and if it has the potential of harming the property or the house or anything, then it may need to be removed. But I would actually just probably go to that tree and let that tree know that you love her or him, whichever one you feel, and just say that, just say your goodbyes and your apologies if you can't convince your cousin not to cut down that tree. Because, listen, I have found out in my speaking that not everyone can even hear or understand or see the message. So, it's important you find the people who maybe can hear it, who might hear it in the future. So I don't really know. I don't have any good information about that. Okay, let's see. My neighbor was being mean to my dog and a huge tree fell on his property. I don't doubt this at all. I think trees are great protectors. They can protect us, Yeah, okay, so Tammy, you say, I believe we can change our path anytime with a different choice. This is accurate to some degree. But I will say this. You have got to put in the work. I always say you have to hurt to heal, and you have to learn to earn. So the universe is not going to give you an easier life path. If you're already in a contract and you're not doing the work, you'll continue to repeat the same lessons over and over again until you actually learn them. We can somewhat control that by putting in the hard work and doing the healing and doing the growing. So if you've done that, then you can potentially change your path. So did I hear you say you only got about 10 years before you go home? And if so, why and how did you know? Okay. So, about 10 years ago, I was placed on hospice, right? The doctors then gave me about 6 months to a year to live. That's been 10 years ago. So I don't know. I know that was hard for me to understand at the time. I was a young woman, and now I'm 41. But at the time of my passing, I'm already living on borrowed time, right? And I've made a decision recently that I will do all the healing that I can on my own, and I'm gonna cut a lot of the medicines out just because I know of things that are happening, and I don't want to be under the thumb of anybody. I don't want to be dependent on anyone else other than myself and the land. So my father told me that I would die I would pass at 56 or 58, and I'm 41 now, so I think probably I will have, maybe 16 more years, maybe. So, and I'm not worried about that. I'm excited. I'm ready to do my job here, and I feel really like I got a chance to come back and do some good. So, even though I've already done mainly good in this lifetime, I just feel like I have a little more time to spread this message of love and unity, and I think I'll get that done in the time I have left. Okay, promise me you will post this on YouTube or something. I'll try. My lives usually just do like highlights or something, so I don't know. I'm still learning. Yeah, some of these tarot people are trying to get you to be in your ego. That's a good way to put it. I try to be really respectful because I do have some people who I know are trying to be helpful when they spread messages. So I appreciate those people. I just am really hesitant to say to group them all together and think. Am really hesitant to say to group them all together and think that they're all good. So, okay, let's see. I'm trying to. Yeah, we are one for sure. Hug the tree, have a relationship with the tree. Maybe it will soften your cousin's heart. This might help. There's good and bad in everything. So this is something that I want to say about whenever I was in my highest dimension. I was shown that there's not really good and bad. There's just different decisions. And I know that some deplorable things happen on earth that we consider bad. But it's not what they want to be seen as good and bad, or evil and good, but there are some deplorable, abhorrent things that happen, and I understand that. But everything that happens, there will be a day where those people pay for everything that they've done. There are consequences. Every action has a reaction. Okay, let's see here. Thank you, Miss Rose. Thank you for being here. I love you. Okay, let's see. Is what meant Is what's meant for us inevitable? Can we miss it? Yes. And you can repeat it. That's why I say you have to hurt to heal. If healing was easy, then everyone would do it. You've got to heal yourself, love yourself, accept yourself, so you can learn the ultimate lessons that you signed up for. I was shown that I had repeated a lifetime because I didn't learn my lesson. And so, yeah, you have to learn your lessons. Okay, this always comes up, and I want to tell you, aliens, okay? Do you see aliens coming in our near future? Okay, so I want to address this, and it's pretty important that I say this because there will be a time in our near future where powers that be use they create a big show on Earth using fear. And look, aliens, what you call aliens, are already here. They are hybrid humans, and they look a lot like me and you probably. So aliens, what you call aliens, are actually advanced ancient civilizations that some are on Earth right now. And there are a lot out in another dimension that, guys, their technology is so far advanced that they can't be seen if they don't want to be detected. Okay. So, just keep this in mind, because there will be coming a time where there will be a great big show on Earth, and it will be done to cause fear and division and for people to stay in control and power. And this is the opposite of what the advanced ancient civilizations want for us. They want us to take back what, let me be careful when I say this. They want us to know how powerful we are when we stand together. They are here to help human civilization, and they are here to help with our evolution. They will not interfere or intercede, but they are here to help raise the consciousness so we can ascend and move past what no longer serves us. What will you tell your children about when you die, to give them strength? Okay, so I've already, when I was on hospice, I made some videos for my children and put them on YouTube, and I wrote incessantly just pages and books and volumes of advice that I wanted to give them in case I wasn't here. But whenever I passed away, I went to my children and I told them, I remember flying through the air. It was just amazing. And I sat with each of my children and told them, whenever you think of me, I will be here. I will be in a different form. Think of me like the wind. You will feel me and you will sense me, but you will not be able to grasp me or hold me, but I'm still here in an energetic form. So I hope that this comforts my children, and anytime they feel the wind blow or they think of me, that they know I'm there with them, because it's that simple on the other dimensions. Like, I had no idea, but anytime, think of it a lot like a phone call. Like, you're recalling in your memory, and that telephone kind of rings that person and brings them to you if that person chooses to come. So, and you're open to it. So that's how simple it is to connect with your loved ones and people who have passed. So my children know all this. I've told them this. I hope that they find strength in that. Because death is really nothing to be feared. It's something that we all do. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful experience. Okay, I feel like I'm on the same path. I'm so grateful to find someone who experiences the same. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so you're giving me so much confirmation of what I've been feeling and seeing. So a lot of times the universe will align us and show us synchronicities time and time again so we can finally understand and finally open our eyes like, oh yes, this is true. This is not just me. This is something other people are feeling. And I think as more and more time passes, more and more people will become aware and awake. Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate that. Okay, so you can download the entire live video, then upload it to YouTube. I didn't know you can do that, Nicole. You may have to message me and help me do that. Talk me through that. Ego is another thing that, yeah, we need to... It's hard to get rid of ego. It really is. And it's something I'm still working on. But I'll tell you, my experience has definitely chipped away a lot of my ego. And having a teenager and a toddler in the same house, both girls, has kept me more humble than I've ever been in my entire life. Can we reincarnate by choice? Yes. So you do have a choice. Let me carefully say this, if you've learned your lessons that you came here to learn, and you have earned your stripes, so to speak, if that's a term I think about, if you've done all that, whenever you pass, you get a choice of how you want to incarnate. And sometimes you will have soul contracts with people, so you can be aligned with them. Do who we consider to be angels present themselves to all species across the universe? Okay, so I'm going to talk about angels and aliens, quote unquote. Okay, so these both are advanced ancient civilizations that exist on Earth. Some are... I don't like fallen angels because everyone... that's so misinterpreted and looked at as a negative thing, when actually those people are really here to help the Earth. Just like what you call aliens. Those people hold ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom, and they have a higher vibration and frequency, but also they have more fractals of light. So they can be seen, but they're not what you think that they would look like. They wear a human cloak, if you will. So, yes, they present themselves to all species across the universe. Why is the veil between the physical and spiritual realm so much thinner around this time of year. Well, it's the end of a cycle. It's all cyclical changes. And it's a cyclical change where the old is ending and the new is beginning. And we can see, most of us can see more clearly what is occurring on a different dimension. So it's just a cycle. It's a cycle. It has nothing to do with the exact time of year, but it's more of just a cycle that repeats. Yes, a big change is definitely underway. Can you explain life paths? Like, I've been told I'm a life path 1. Okay, so we're all on different paths. We're all on different journeys, and we all are here to help each other learn our lessons, and this is the ultimate school. So if you are a life path 1, then you are a new incarnation. Like, it doesn't mean that you're infantile. It doesn't mean anything like that. It means that you are here to learn the most, learn all you can. And also, this is a cycle where you can incur like karma. So you have to be helpful. You have more to go. Okay, so I don't want you to be disappointed by that, because sometimes life path 1s can be the greatest teachers. Like, we can learn a lot with life path 1s, because they are seeing the world without a filter, without the perversions that have corrupted people along the way. Okay, have I missed any questions? I hope not. I'm going back through here and making sure. Okay, so are we talking about the angels and the aliens? Okay, so they are all originally from the earth, and they are humans that, okay, prepare yourself, because I've been told that I can give this information now because of things that will occur. Angels and what you know as Greys or aliens, the Palladians, the Lyrans, all of these things came from star systems, and they are ancient humans. They all are from the stars, and some are even from other universes, other galaxies. So they're not all originally from Earth. I don't know how to say that without I don't want any of this to cause fear, but we are not the only people in the universe. I think by now you would have to have some kind of understanding of that. We're pretty, as a whole, you think about humans, we think we're really significant, but in the great big scheme of things, we're really small. We're really, we're here to learn and help humans, but we're not the only people in the universe. We're not the only life forms in the universe. We're not the only universe even. Space is so vast, and it's just ever expanding, it seems like. So I can't really think, they're not all from Earth, but right now, they are guardians of this universe. and this time and space. They are all here to help with ascension. Okay, someone says, can you still go to heaven if you repent your sins? Okay. I'm going to be respectful. I think you must be new to what we're talking about. There's not heaven, because whenever I went to the 15th dimension, I said, oh, is this heaven? And the source or the creator of all things said, no, I understand this is what you know to be heaven, but this is the 15th dimension. So I asked specifically for clarification. And to get to the 15th dimension, all you have to do is do good on earth. Be good, be kind, love yourself, love others, be of service to the world. We do choose our parents, and that's hard for a lot of people, especially people who don't have good parents. But we have things to learn from our parents, whether it's how not to parent or, we learn from our parents, and they learn things from us. So we do choose our parents, yes. Okay, I'm looking. Did you receive a premonition or sign right before your NDE? I recall, yes. So my whole life I've kind of had an intuition or knowing when things would happen, and then dream about them, and they would really happen. So, I think it was, okay, so you have to understand this whole story about how I had no idea I was even pregnant. I thought that my kidneys were failing, so I went to the doctor. Because who would have thought, just coming off hospice, that you could even have a child, right? So I thought my kidneys were failing, and I remember going to the doctor because I was swelling, and they did some blood draws and some urine tests, and I remember her coming back into the room and saying, you're pregnant, we need to take you to the ultrasound. And whenever I went to the ultrasound, she said, I was still in disbelief, but at the ultrasound, she said, yeah, you're definitely pregnant. Do you want to know what you're having? And so since I had already had children prior to this, I knew that I must be pretty far along. And my husband had to come pick me up off the floor out of the ultrasound room. And so I was already 6.5 months pregnant. I had about, I was actually further than that, because they told me that I was going to be having a baby in 6 to 8 weeks. And during that 6 to 8 weeks, I was visited by my father, who had already passed away. And he said to me, I don't want you to be scared. I'll be there for you, but this is what's going to happen. And I was shown what happened. And I told my husband, who's very non-religious, he doesn't go for metaphysical things. He wants everything science and math and logic. So he says to me, it's just a dream. But I had a feeling, like a deep gut feeling, that I knew I was going to die. And I thought it would probably be the last time. And I was okay with that, because I'd already experienced hospice and all this, fighting for my life all the time. And I thought, this is a beautiful way to go out, giving life and then mine being taken. So I was prepared for that. And so, yes, I did know that it was going to happen, but I still had that part of me where I was doubting myself and listening to everyone else around me saying it's just a dream. I remember telling my doctor about this, and she said these dreams are normal pregnancy dreams. You know, a lot of women have these dreams about death, and you know, these are normal dreams. So, you know, I told everyone about it, and no one would listen. So, yeah, I did have that. Okay. Let's see. Yes, our kids have their own life mission, and our kids are our greatest teachers. We need to listen to them and study them and watch them, play with them. You know, children teach us so many things if we're open to them being our teachers, because they don't have any inhibitions yet. They don't have, they're raw. They are raw and unfiltered and honest, and they don't have any of these things put in place, these constructs to bring them down yet. So I have studied so many NDEs. I find it so interesting that so many say the same. Life is beautiful. Yeah, and I think a lot of people... so another thing someone asked me is like, do you think the people who saw heaven and hell are lying about it? I don't think that at all. I think because I asked for clarification specifically, I was given an answer. Because had I not, I would have definitely thought I was in heaven. You know, there were bright lights, just like everyone explains. And I recorded my loss of life experience with, I think his name is Dr. Grayson, Dr. Bruce Grayson at the University of Virginia, because he studies and has studied these for quite some time, the past lives of children, and also the near-death experiences. So he studies these, and I recorded mine with him. So I think it is very interesting that so many people have the same experience. And I think the only thing that makes mine different is that the download that I received, I was allowed to keep. And I'm so grateful for that, because I know that it's important in this time, in this space, to be hearing this message. Hey, born on a new moon. Let's see. So many questions that we need answers. Yes. What made me ask for clarification? Because whenever I ask to see, okay, so I don't know if you were here for this story. I asked, someone that I loved and was close to got hurt by a family member, really in some horrible ways, and I wanted to see that person, and I asked to see that person in hell. And so when I went to what I thought was supposed to be hell, it wasn't anything like I had imagined. It was a cold, dark, damp, dirty place. And I thought there was supposed to be fire and brimstone and all that stuff. So I knew that that wasn't the hell that I had imagined. So I guess in a way that's the thing that made me ask for clarification. I'm not really sure why I asked. I just thought, you know, I think maybe it was in my mind like, that wasn't hell that I just saw, but I know he's there for his actions and the hurt that he inflicted. So I must now be going to the good place or heaven. And so I just asked, wow, is this heaven? And no, it's the 15th dimension. So I'm glad that I asked for clarification, because I don't think that if I had not, that it would set me into this wanting such deep knowing and understanding of what I experienced. I feel like I've been in hell most of my life. And you know what? A lot of people feel this way. That is the systems, the social constructs are set up to make you feel this way. And I really hope today that you can get some answers or a new perspective that maybe might help you feel like you're finally out of that hell. Because the only hell that we experience is the one that we allow. And I hate to say it's a mindset, because sometimes circumstances put you in positions. And I know this because I am one that struggles with obstacles every single day. From my physical health, I know what that's like, and I understand what you're saying, but I hope that this live today changes that perspective for you. And if you need help, reach out to me and we'll try some things that I was given access to, and maybe I can help you with that. Okay, hey Thomas, can you talk about your knowledge about what we call karma and dharma? Thank you for phrasing it like that, because I'm very careful with how I say things. So what we call karma and dharma, and it's things that I refer to as well, because it's the only word that I have found to describe what I was shown and what I understand it to be. So, dharma is what we put out into the world. All the good, all the negative, what we call good and bad, all the positive and negative. The dharma is that, what we put out, our output, our frequency, our vibration, our actions. Everything that we do is called dharma. Karma is the thing that comes back around to us for those positive and negative actions. So dharma is the action. Karma is kind of like a reaction. So it's really interesting because I don't have any other words to describe it other than that. And the knowledge that I hold about that is that every action has an equal or greater reaction. And everything that you put out good comes back to you. And that's a truth of this world. It's a universal law. So I think it's really important to know the universal laws too, because there are 12 of them. I can't go over all of them right now, but you will see that in the universal laws. Everything that is being done to us by the powers has to be told to us, or it's part of a system, right? And whether or not you believe this is all just a simulation, or whether you believe you were put here by a higher power, this question that you asked today about karma and dharma is one of the most intricate parts of the system. It's one of the most important parts of how the universe works, because everything in this lifetime that we put out, we get back tenfold. Okay, well, I've never gotten this question before. With the laws of universe, particularly the laws of gender, would you say sexuality is bad? No. Not at all. Because I'm going to explain this. Because I also have a trans daughter. Now daughter. My stepson. And I was granted a rare gift to understand this a little bit better. We all have divine feminine energy and male energy. What happens as we incarnate, sometimes one can overpower another. I don't think, I know that love is love, no matter who you give that to. And I know that sometimes energy is greater than physical form. I hope I answered that in a way that everyone can understand. And so just remember, you're more than your physical body. That's an important thing. You are more than your physical body. When we have been in the body of a certain gender for several reincarnations, we have a hard time adjusting to a new body of an opposite gender. Yeah, and I don't know if I have any Doctor Who fans in here, but I've only watched like a few seasons of Doctor Who, and when the Doctor regenerates, this was like almost an epiphany for me when I watched the Christmas special, and I was like, wow, so this is really what it's like, because you come back as a whole different person, and your energy, your soul, whatever you want to call it, those terms are all interchangeable, but whatever you want to call it, can be feminine or masculine. And that's just how it happens. You are more than your physical body, and sometimes your energy or your soul is the thing that you listen to. And you know, I think actually that's a beautiful thing, because it means that that person is being truer to themselves on a deeper level. Now, I'm not saying that sometimes it's confusion, because I think at some points it can be, but a lot of times this is energy. Love is love. Oh, good. So you do like Doctor Who. You know, I never really watched it, but my son, he's all the time. He loves TV. I don't watch TV much anymore since my passing, because I think you have to be really careful about what you intake. So I did watch that show, and I thought, wow, that's exactly what it's like. That's why the stresses of the life shouldn't be taken too seriously. You're more than you think. Absolutely. Yeah, and I said that earlier. No such thing as good or evil, only choices, right? And I was shown that sometimes there can be wiring issues in a person, that something, whether you want to call it like a neuronal a gateway that was crossed into a different way, and choices, there was something wrong with the programming. I'll say that. That's a good way to say it. Love is holiness. Love conquers everything. Yes. What makes no logical sense? I'm curious, because I want to be able to explain everything. And so sometimes it is hard for me to articulate into words, because the words just don't fully exist. Neural and cellular, genetic, yeah, some of those things can be crossed. And there is, on the other side, there's no good or evil. There's simply choices, and it doesn't mean that people who do things that we consider appalling or they will pay for those. For every, like I was talking about dharma and karma, for every action, there's a reaction. So those people will face judgment. Okay, will we experience a new earth in this lifetime? Absolutely. It's already here, and it's coming. It's already here. And I know a lot of people have a hard time understanding that, but it's happening. And there are advanced, ancient, indigenous civilizations on Earth right now, and they are working tirelessly behind the scenes to make things happen where people will get to this place. Hey, Light Seeker. Okay, well, I'm not sure. Woke since one day. I'm not sure. If you're confused about something, please let's talk about it. Yes. Okay, this is great. Thank you for this. Human words are sometimes insufficient when we're talking about universal truths and energy, and this is so true. What does New Earth mean, please? Okay, so the Earth is split into two right now, and on New Earth, and I've made videos about this, on New Earth, the people and powers, greed have been among them, and they have done some negative actions, because we just said there's no good and bad. They are about to reap what they've sown. And people will start coming together to help each other. We can see this in Hurricane Helene, the people stranded on the mountains. And who is coming to the rescue? Not the government. People, everyday people. And they're coming together in droves to help people and citizens who need help. So this is what I mean by New Earth. There is going to be a time in the near future where a new Earth, and it's already here, it's right here, but all the darkness is going to be brought to light, and all the greed and power that has been in the world is going to come to love and light. And it's going to be revolutionary in the sense that people are going to start realizing that we are all connected and there's a bigger purpose. Okay, let's see. I believe it to be the timeline we have chosen, the new Earth. Yeah, it is. This is interesting about timelines too, because thank you. Yes, we are moving towards community and communal living. And I just said earlier in this live that it's going to be important to know your neighbors and introduce yourselves right now. Get on good terms with your neighbors. And I live in a rural area, and I'm still not very good about it, but I know that the time has come where I need to be introducing myself and ingratiating myself with my neighbors and making friends with them, because this is where it is. It's going to go back to not necessarily a tribal way, but kind of like a communal way of living where small communities take care of each other and they love each other, they help each other. And so, but I do want to say this. It will look worse. It will feel worse before it gets better. And I say this not to cause fear, because fear is the very thing that has kept us from evolving as a species. It keeps us divided and separated, and that's not where we want to go with this. But I say this to prepare you, because whenever people are talking about this new earth and this beautiful new way of life, you don't expect there to be destruction and devastation. But let me tell you this. This is part of the earth's healing process. Healing is not pretty in the process. It can look pretty messy from the outside looking in. But this is a healing process. And on the other side of healing is divine love and just unconditional love like you can't even imagine. Okay, I was answering someone's question about good and evil. Okay, thank you. We rise from the ashes as one. So much love, even in the dark. That's so right. And I just, this is something that's heavy on my heart today. And I just wish that my relatives would have listened to me, and I wish they would have come home, and I wish, but not everybody's ready to hear the message, are they? So all we can do is try, because people who have ears will hear, and people who have eyes to see will see. And that's all that can happen right now. It's frustrating, and it's heavy, and it's deep sometimes, but that's all we can do right now is try to get the message out with as much love and compassion as possible. And then we can support them after things happen, right? We can offer support and love and guidance after it happens, and I don't know. What if we don't have a choice and can't go anywhere? Okay, well, you always have a choice. My dad used to say, you're never stuck anywhere. And he told me this about my first marriage, okay? Because I got married really young, right out of high school, because in my small town, you either went to college or you got married and started a family. I got married and started a family. I was miserable, unhappy. My husband wasn't a very good husband. I'll just say that for now. You're never stuck anywhere. You always have choices. The choices may not be easy. Because I remember there was a point where I had to sleep in my car. I was homeless with a 2-year-old child. If you want to be specific about that and message me, I'll be glad to give you another perspective. And hopefully I can help with that, because we're never stuck anywhere except in a mindset. And my dad was, he couldn't read or write, but he was one of the most intelligent people as far as wisdom and knowing and philosophy, and he had a really simple way of saying really deep things, and some of the things I'm still just coming to understand. But you're never stuck anywhere except in a mindset. So I love that my dad told me that, because it's coming back, and I know he's here now with me. I feel his energy, and me talking about him and knowing that he's helping people too now. Why do we need healing if there is no good or evil? Okay, so I want you to understand. we need healing because of our mindset, the way we've been taught to think. We have been taught to think that things happen to us instead of for us. So when you have that mindset and things happen to you, that creates a lot of trauma. And I'm speaking for myself. I do not want to be, I don't want to be too positive or anything like that. I've went through some big things in my life, a lot of traumatic things. But I realize now that all those things have made me the person I am today. And everything that I have went through in this lifetime, every challenge I've faced, every obstacle I've overcome, has put me in this specific place in this time so that I can have all these stories to help other people understand that there is only a mindset and a choice to make. Like, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to turn it into pain, or are you going to turn it into power? I chose to turn mine into power. I chose to take everything that's happened to me and use it for the good of myself and others. So that's why we need healing, so we can get to a point in space where we start to understand that we can turn pain into power. We come here to learn lessons, sell contracts. Yes. Thank you. I love to hear you speak. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I met God. I am on the holy order. I'm correcting her mistake. She doesn't fully know. Okay. So, if you say that you met God, I'm curious to know if he wanted you to call him God, because I don't think he did, because I met the man, the creator of all things also. I'm not trying to be hateful. Everyone has their own path, their own story. And I specifically asked for many clarifications when I passed. And I'm glad that you feel like you were on the holy order, but I don't place myself above anyone. And I think we're all here to learn from each other. So if this is not something that's resonating with you right now, that's okay. And I love you still anyway. And I know the creator of all things loves you too. An NDE is a near loss of life experience. I passed away and was gone for 1 minute and 45 seconds. Okay, there's, I don't have a moderator in here right now. Miss Rose is gone. But look, I open this platform in hopes. I have a moderator in here right now. Miss Rose is gone. But look, I open this platform in hopes that I can bring people this message that I was given. The opposite of what I'm trying to do is judgment. I am offering love and peace here, and that's all I will tolerate in this room. So you did not meet the Holy One then. Okay. Okay, I'm curious. I'm not going to give this too much time and attention. If you feel like I've been misled, then that's okay. But I am not above anyone. I love you still, but I won't tolerate any kind of judgment or hate in this area. Okay, so just I love you, but just if you don't like what I'm saying, then you're welcome to just not hear. You can't hear, it's okay. You can't see, it's okay. I still love you. Thank you, Annie. Yeah, and that's all I can speak is truth that I have and the knowledge that I was given. And it's okay that other people have their own perception. I know that I was asked for clarification, and I know that my intentions are pure and my heart is, so that's the only thing I can do. It's meant to be explored. So, oh love, I don't fear your words at all. I know you. I know of you. And I knew that there would be a moment when someone would come declaring that they were from God. But I'm going to tell you, I met the creator of all things. And I know the creator. I sat at the feet with the creator. I'm not scared of your words. I'm not fearing anything you're saying. I do love you. But respectfully, I disagree with you. No one of the creator's children is more special than another. Thank you, Karen. Okay. Thank you, Miss Rose. You're back. How do you explain childhood cancer? Okay. This is a difficult thing, and I'm going to tell you the truth of it. At one point in time, humans had the ability to heal themselves completely, physically, energetically, mentally. We had that ability. That ability was taken away from us. Humans have been interfered with on a genetic, cellular, and energetic level with plastics, chemicals, endomorphs, neurotoxins. We have been interfered with, and that has created these things that we have trouble healing now. So that's as simple as I can put it. Yes, we are all part of our creator. Thank you. We are the creators. Parasites can cause cancer. Pesticides can cause cancer. Plastics. Everything. We have gotten so far removed from our natural state and the things that our bodies can actually process, and all those things have interfered with us on a very basic level, and they cause all these illnesses and all these well now we can't get away from these illnesses because we're constantly being interfered and tampered with. So are certain people given or developed illnesses like cancer and so on? Is this for a reason? Okay. So what I was shown is this is for me only. Okay, I was shown that I signed up to go through every human experience. And I don't know really if I would do that again necessarily, but I personally signed my contract and decided I would go through every single human experience, poverty, homelessness, addiction, disease, everything, so I could add to the library and the records. Because these records in this library is for the greater good of human civilization, for millennia to come, eons and eons to come. So, you can, okay, certain people will sign up to have illnesses, but sometimes it just happens because we have been interfered with. Okay, would you say that we as a collective are source experiencing itself? Yes, I would. Consciousness has not been explained yet, and I like to think of it as the harp that flows, the melody that flows from the harp but can't actually pluck its own strings. So what is music other than vibration and frequency? My daughter said she had cancer because her brother and sister would survive it. Thoughts? This can certainly be true. Some people will take on an illness so someone else in their familial contracts don't have to have that. Okay, guys, I've been on here a while. I think I hear Olive waking up now. I just want to thank you all for being here and aligning with me today. I've had a beautiful time with you all. So I have to go now, but I love you all. Thanks for being here.